To modify an existing staircase type or create your own staircase type, we first have to begin underneath the Architecture tab on the ribbon and then select on Stair. When we do, we'll see the type selector list underneath the Properties palette. From here, if we select on the type selector list, in this case we're seeing 3 different types of staircases. One is associated with an assembled stair, a cast-in-place stair, and then a precast stair. Each of these has their own set of properties associated with them. In this case, I'm going to highlight on the 7-inch max riser, 11-inch tread assembled staircase. From here, we click on Edit Type, and this brings up the Type Properties dialog box, which shows maybe half the properties associated with a traditional staircase. Some of the properties that are located here include the supports, whether or not there's a strainer on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. You can also choose here where it has middle support, and if you put a check mark in there, you can specify what that middle support is, as well as how many of them there are. There's the ability to adjust what the cut symbol shows up whenever your staircase is showing in plan view. The cut mark is a little line and sort of a little zigzag that goes through the staircase, indicating that it's going above a certain elevation. And all that can be controlled inside of the properties of the staircase. Now there's 2 other areas which are kind of hidden inside of this, but I want to point them out to you. The first area is where that cut mark is located at. If you click inside of this box here, you can then click this little button here at the side, and you can begin to give properties to that cut line. If you want it to be a single line or a double line, you can choose that here. And then you can also tell it what the cut mark symbol should be, the angles associated with the line that are going to make up that cut mark, and that kind of information. In this case, I'm going to click on Cancel. I just want to leave it the same way that it was. Now the other spot is where it has Run Type. And currently it says 2-inch tread, 1-inch nosing, 1/4-inch riser. If you click in that box, you'll see another little button over to the side. When you do, this is where you can select the tread material, the riser material. You can also specify whether or not there's a tread or a riser there at all. You can specify what the thickness of each of these would be. And there's also something called the nosing profile. The nosing profile is used to not necessarily just indicate the nosing on the edge of the staircase. I've seen the nosing profile used to specify the entire shape of what that tread would look like. An example of that would be, imagine a tread that was a half circle and flat on top. That shape could look like a log. So I've seen log home manufacturers before use that shape to make it look like there was a log cut in half and then design log staircases inside of Revit. You can also tell it where you'd like to apply that nosing profile to. Usually it's front only. That is an option for you as well. Here you have the riser information. Through here, you can even specify a riser profile so you can make the riser look a little bit different as well. So this is where the treads and risers and whether or not you want to have them or not shows up. We're going to click on OK to that to get out of this dialog box. All these properties we've been showing you have all been associated with this type of staircase, and it's part of the system family called Assembled Stair. If we would duplicate this and give it a new name, then it would also show up underneath the Assembled Stair category, and then it would have the new properties that you assign to it. Something else that I'll mention is that we could also do this for cast-in-place staircases or precast staircase construction. And you can create all those properties that would be associated with those type of staircases, duplicate it, give them their own custom names, and click on OK, and then you'd have those staircases inside of your project. If you did this inside of your template, then these staircases would all be available to you whenever you started on a new project.